Coffee. What a good way to start the show. If you wonder why I drink coffee, I've been drinking coffee since as long as I can remember. I've always had an issue with my mother when it comes to me consuming coffee as a child. I think it came from the fact that I saw my parents, mostly my mother, drinking coffee. I didn't understand then as to why she would have consumed it, but I just thought, well, if mommy can drink it, I can drink it. So I started drinking coffee from a tender age. And I understood that it's not just because of my mother, but I do have an appetite for cocoa. Cocoa that you get coffee from and chocolate. Yeah, I'm a sucker for chocolate. Pure, dark chocolate. Must be bitter. Hence why I consume coffee. Not habitually. It's not like the alcohol that Norton drinks. I consume it because it's refreshing and I like the taste of it. Not everything that is sweet is healthy, but almost everything that's bitter is good. What do they want with Guyana? You know, they say that you obsessed about a thing more when you know you can't get that thing. Then is when you obsess more about that thing. When it is far from your reach, then you fantasize, you obsess, you freak out. But anything that is easily accessible, you don't tend to place value to that, but you obsess with things you really can't get. Hence, we can understand why the accidental opposition leader and minister of flood and misinformation is obsessing about the presidency and President Irfan Ali, because he can't be Irfan Ali and he will never, ever, ever, not in this lifetime, see any position where he holds an office being the president of anything. Well, Mohammed's enterprise is no more, so we can't say that, yeah, but he is the president of Mohammed Enterprise. He never was, he never shall be, because it is no more. Welcome to Uncensored Guyana, the Uncensored Guyana show. I am your humble host, Dr. L. Prasad. Prasad meaning your precious gift. The word Prasad, the name, is derived from the term prasad, which means to serve. Sweets, blessings, offerings to the gods. Hence the word Prasad. So anybody who comes behind the name of Prasad must be of value and substance to those they serve. I am your substance and your value. Hence, I am your precious gift. Therefore, the name Prasad. Let me remark on something. The Venezuelan accidental president, Dulce Rodriguez, who continued the legacy, the narrative, the propaganda, the pursuit of her now jailed criminal president, Maduro. There is nothing that can come out of her lips that I'll be impressed with. Absolutely nothing. If she steps out of line, the Americans will nab her. So she has no credibility. The only person that has credibility in this equation, Venezuela and Guyana, is President Irfan Ali. So I don't need to repeat or echo the sentiment of an illegal president, an accidental president, who also wanted to annex Essequibo, where she says, oh, I want to thank President Ali and the Guyanese people. Fuck that. I'm not impressed. So I don't have to run with it and say, you see the Venezuelan, fuck the Venezuelan president. I don't have to say shit in favor of her. I stand with people everywhere. It's not the Venezuelan people that has a problem with Essequibo. It's their leaders. The crisis Venezuela has faced economically, it's because of their leaders. The bad politicians, they keep electing or keep forcing their way into government. The people has nothing to do with that. So if our president is going to extend help to the people of Venezuela, not the government of Venezuela, then I don't care if the Venezuelan government reacts or don't react. I don't give a shit. So I don't need to say, well, I want to thank the Venezuelan president for acknowledging our president. Fuck that shit. I don't have to thank anybody. Our president did what he had to do. Offer help to neighbors, other human beings like himself, with Guyanese taxpaying dollars. So it's the Venezuelan people who are grateful. And Dulce Rodriguez don't speak for the Venezuelan people. She speaks for the faction that supported her criminal boss. And they are not the majority. So again, our president did what he must do as a good leader, and continues to do what he has to do for the benefit and interest of Guyana and Guyanese. Secondly, have you remembered the Trayvon Martin issue in America? You know, they say the white cop that killed the black kid, Trayvon Martin, George Floyd. You know, for those of you who, well, everybody knows that story because black people have a way of amplifying every little thing to get attention. Black Lives Matter. You're familiar with that, right? Where they almost burned down their neighborhoods because of that incident, where they say a white cop shot an unarmed black man, teen. Then the white cop killed George Floyd, and all of these things, amongst many other situations. You know how they treated America. You know what they did. You know how they devastated that country and neighborhoods where they live. Mind you, niggas build nothing. They didn't build America, but they destroyed their neighborhoods. The black people in those neighborhoods who tried to do business, open businesses to serve their community, they take loans from the bank. They take loans from the Jews, from all these people to help to bring business and life into the neighborhoods. Those are the businesses that are often targeted. When them niggas go on the street to protest some violence, police shooting, police killing black person, they do that. Why I brought that case up? I've always said, before all my platforms were shut down, I've always said that Black Lives Matter is a scam, just like the Nigerians who scam people. It's a whole scamish organization. It's a criminal organization, Black Lives Matter. From the head to all of them are crooks, criminals and crooks, prostitutes and thieves. And they fleeced, they sucked, they embezzled, they cheated, they robbed their own poor people in America, black people, and got blacks from around the world to support them. Only for what? So they can buy big houses for themselves, go on excursions, have big orgy parties, and all these things with poor people's money. And did nothing towards the cause they said they were fighting for. Bunch of crooks. That was the Black Lives Matter. And they still exist to some extent. I've always called them out and disassociated myself. So now they don't label me as that because, like I said, I'm Indian. Yes, Azruddin. You're the fake Indian. I'm a real Indian. You're fake, Azruddin. This isn't about genetics or biology. This is about concept. Ideology. You know what I mean? So, Trayvon Martin, George Floyd, these people that the blacks said were innocent, good citizens, and they were just targeted by the police because they're black people and they were murdered in cold blood. What all of us know, most of us know, that Trayvon Martin, that same teen they said was innocent, was a criminal. A criminal. He was a pest, a menace to society. Even his mother wanted nothing to do with him. The same woman who came after, the mother of that teen who came after on CNN and all these shows and said, oh, my son was an angel. Why did you take my son from me? He was good. He was the best. No, he was not. Because the same mother abandoned that same son, sent him back to his father because she couldn't deal with him. He was a drug addict, a junkie, stealing stuff, robbing people, involved in gangs and all these kinds of stuff. That same kid that they say was unjustifiable murder by the police, same kid. The schools he was going to suspended him. And schools don't suspend you that easy. You got to really be delinquent, really be delinquent for a school to say, you know what, we had enough. We can't deal with this kid. Take him to the delinquent center. Let them try with him. The kid was terrible. A menace to society. So the conflict he had with the law was not the first time. Wasn't the first time. But yet when the police exercise their duties to protect themselves, always killing black people. And all them niggas, politicians, all of them, exploited the situation to say, it's the government that is empowering the police to go after black people. It's the government. Let's protest. Let's burn some black people's stores. Let's loot. Justifiable. We had the George Floyd situation. George Floyd was a monkey. A junkie monkey. Useless. A lowlife, a scum. Wasn't the first time he got in contact with the law. But yet, when the police exercise their job and restrain the criminals the way they should restrain, you hear it's murder. And because of George Floyd's junkie state that he always consuming cocaine and all these things, he had a medical condition, a heart condition, hypertensive. But what happened instead? What happened instead? They capitalize on the situation and say, he was innocent. It's white against black. And oh my God, we need legislations to protect the black people. No, what you need then and now is legislations to protect society from black people. Society needs protection from black people. Now we have a case in Guyana, like we've had many times before, where the black person who may have fallen by the hands of a police or law enforcement, they're always innocent. Even though the neighborhood know that that's a menace. always innocent. By default, black people are always innocent. Quite unfortunate. But as a result of that, what do we get? Them coming together with one common objective: destabilize society. Suddenly, they care about the interest of other black people when it involves a police matter that may result in something that, to the detriment of that suspect who happens to be black. It happens everywhere. No other race responds to a situation like that. No other race. Even when the country or that area is pro a particular ethnic group, they don't respond like that. It's a different social cultural conditioning that black people seem to have a tendency to gravitate towards what is unjust, what is illegal, what is chaotic, and the scent of blood. And I'm speaking in general. You're offended, you are offended, that's your problem. I'm speaking in general. Let me interject some historical fact. Marcus Garvey, one of the most promising black man who really had a good interest in freeing the social erosion of the black man in his time. Because niggas have a problem forever, in just now. Like I said, if slavery really existed, that was one of the best things happened to black people. Slavery. But since there's no slavery now, they say it's mental slavery. But Marcus Garvey was one of the persons who really wanted to free niggas from mental slavery. What do you think them niggas did to him? What do you think they did to him? What do you think black people did to Marcus Garvey? It wasn't the white man. It was the black man that destroyed Marcus Garvey, set him up because of jealousy. They reported him to the system, devised a plan for the system to bring down Marcus Garvey, jailed him, then deported him to Jamaica, where they further put him in his grave. Wasn't the white man, wasn't the Indian, nor the Chinese. Niggas destroyed Marcus Garvey. Black people did. And all he wanted to do was to help them, raise them up, give them a sense of identity. But they turned back and they bit him, pulled him down, buried him, embarrassed and poor. Who else did they do it to? Selassie, the man they worship, Haile Selassie. It was niggas who killed him. One of the worst deaths any royal person could have faced, worse than Saddam Hussein, worse than Gaddafi. What niggas did to Selassie, Haile Selassie, the way they killed him. And they were great leaders to black people. The white people wanted to protect Selassie. They wanted to protect him, but he trusted the people that looked like him. And the people that looked like him brought him to his final end. Malcolm X. Malcolm X. Who killed him? Niggas. Shot him in front of his own children. Murdered him in cold blood. Black people did. Fucking niggas did. Killed Malcolm X. And what Malcolm X wanted to do? Help niggas. Free them from their mindset. Free them from social economic stress like they complain all the time that the white man was taking from them, like they're doing now in Guyana, the Indian man is taking from them. Yeah, they always complain. I'm saying this to register a sentiment that a lot of you seem to forget. If a black man can destroy his own heroes and leaders and prophets and kings, what do you think he'll do to you who don't look like him? What do you think he'll do to you who don't look like him? Guyana is for a multi-ethnic community, a diverse people. But yet the only people who are destroying Guyana are black people. They're not building anything. Barnum didn't build anything. PNC built nothing. The people who have built Guyana historically are first the Europeans, the British, matter of fact, the Dutch, then the British, then the Indians. And the Indians have been building Guyana since before independence to this day. The ones who continue to break, burn, destroy, loot, damage are the blacks. To this day. Every little situation, they want to fuck up what the government is doing. So I bring you back to what happened a few hours ago. Initially, what we knew, based on what came out of the outlets, is that this 16-year-old male was being pursued by law enforcement. Police was after him. We didn't know the reason. All we knew that was amplified, police killed him. Hit him down and kill him. That's all we got. That's all they keep punctuating. Police murdered a teen. Not about why was he being pursued. The circumstances, none of that. Oh, police killed him. So because the police killed this teen, according to those who are pushing this narrative, we need to come out and burn shit down. That's it. That's the only trigger we need. We don't want due course. We don't want investigation. We don't want to hear from the police. We just want to know that if police hit down a black teen, kill him. Then we have the opposition leader, Aubrey Norton. And then we have the Minister of Floods, Azruddin Mohammed, using their platform to incite the very thing that resulted following the news that this teen was allegedly murdered by the police. Come out, burn shit, mobilize, and blame President Irfan Ali for covering up police brutality and police killings of black people. It wasn't an Indian kid, it's a black kid. If you mix with black, you're black. Okay? According to David Hines, Douglas, which means an outcast. So the black people in Little Africa, what do you know? Little Africa. In Guyana, we have a Little Africa. I wonder where is Little India or Little China? We can understand the US, 51 states, 300 million people, kind of huge. So where you have one community largely concentrated there, you would tend to identify that community, or, you know, we have only Indians here, or only Guyanese here, or only Chinese here. Then let's go to Little China. We know what we'll find there. But in a country where you have a large population of blacks all over the country, you still have neighborhoods they call Little Africa. How more racist can that get? How more racist can that get? But it doesn't bother anybody because it's a thing from the past. Like you name Lyndon after the man who murdered people. It's his legacy. The massacre started in Lyndon, so rightly so. That's his hometown. Lyndon, you have Little Africa, all these neighborhoods where you have these racist blacks, you name it there. Unfortunately, in these neighborhoods, though you have all these racist blacks there, they are not doing anything. They don't go to school. They don't have a job. All they do is sit around, lay around, plan to see who they can rob and steal from, plot and post stuff on social media, have fake accounts to threaten people. And all of that, you have decent Guyanese, who historically have built that country. You have Chinese businesses in that neighborhood. You have Indian businesses. Matter of fact, more businesses in that area, Berbice area, are Indians. They have to now keep their fingers crossed at the idea, at the news that black people mobilize for any reason whatsoever. Mobilize. Because often, the victims of black mobility are the Indians, the Chinese, and they target the people who has the businesses. They target the people who have the businesses that are employing them, that are contributing towards the treasury, that are contributing towards their lives, making it better by providing goods and services for these niggas. They're the ones they're targeting in their protests and their violence. People who are making a difference in their communities. So you have this 16-year-old who's riding a motorcycle. Maybe the laws have changed, but for what I know, you have to be 18 before you can get a license to ride a motorcycle. I don't know if the laws changed. But if it has, I guess I have a lot to catch up on. But he's riding a motorcycle and is being pursued. The police identify and, hey, put on the siren, signal the person, hey, we're coming after you, stop, pull over. Police, stop. But instead, he kept on riding. Increase the throttle, his speed. Lost control of the bike, slammed into a GPL pole, and suffered injuries that resulted in his death. There is no evidence that the police ran him over with their vehicle or hit him with their vehicle. No evidence. There are cameras everywhere. So let's see the evidence. Let's see the evidence that the police, with the police vehicle, hit the suspect on the motorcycle, which caused them to lose control and rode into the electricity pole. Show the video, not AI generated. Show the video. There are a lot of cameras in the area. Let us see. But understand, this is a 16-year-old. For whatever reason, we still don't know. At least as of this program, I don't know the reason why the police was under him. I can't listen to his mother. We have learned that relatives always present the victims or the suspects as innocent, loving, caring, always. So if they're all that, then I guess the police they got the wrong person. They're pursuing the wrong person, right? Because relatives, parents, always project their children as perfect. Oh, they did no wrong. Always. until whoever they have done wrong to come out and say, no, he might be perfect to you, but he's a menace to society. If you raise them right, they will never have brushes with the law. Because when you raise them right, you understand they will not get involved in criminal gangs. They will not be a part of conspiracies to rob and steal. They won't be doing drugs. Any age. How old was the man that murdered that PNC councillor a few years ago in one of the ghettos in Guyana? How old was he? The black man? Oh, he wasn't a teenager. He was a man that stabbed, went to steal from the councillor's shop. A black man who was a PNC supporter, a PNC councillor, a politician. The black teen went to break that man's a stall to steal. The man caught him and tried to arrest him, maybe to get to the police. He stabbed the man to death. How old was he? 14. 14. There is a news that I shared on my Facebook page out of France, where a 10-year-old black man from Ghana or Sudan attempted to rape a 22-year-old white woman, telling her to take her clothes off. So he with his I don't know what the fuck he has at 10. I mean, what he's gonna rape her with. Maybe at 10 he wants to practice eating pussy, and the best way he can do that is try to rape a woman with his tongue. I don't know how the heck you can rape a woman with a 10-year-old penis. Or according to Mahi Paul, lowly. Yeah. Lowly, something like that. Anyway, the woman refused, and like, what if go to your mother? She just took it for nothing, like this is some watch too much of porn or whatever it is. The black man, not 10-year-old, took his knife and stabbed the white woman 2 times. Stabbed her with it. Because she didn't take her clothes off and open her leg for him to rape her with his tongue. He's 10 years old, according to his legal records. 10. And he lived with his parents. But yet he was capable of doing that to a 22-year-old female as a 10-year-old. So don't bring this shit about police targeting black kids. There ain't no fucking thing with kids when you are a criminal or you have the mentality to commit crime. If you're going to rob the Chinese and you're 10, you're a fucking criminal. All right? You saw the other day in a few videos back when a gang of them were attacking Cubans. Cubans. Robbing them on bicycles. Don't tell me about kids. They're criminals. Raised by criminals. So the police have to treat them accordingly. This man that was chased on his motorcycle, he had an obligation. He had an obligation to surrender. You're 16, why are you running from police? If you are innocent to whatever you think they're pursuing you for, stop. According to the law, you're underage. They can't arrest you without the presence of your guardian or parent, whoever it is. Even if they chase you and then you say, hey, I'm 16 years old. They have to take you, get your parents, then do the process. That's the law. But the police can't assume this is a 16-year-old. They're looking for a suspect. They need the suspect so they can interrogate and find out more about the suspect. Why are you running from the police? According to the reports that I have been privy to, and you too, it was a chase, meaning the police was after him. They were pursuing him. With their vehicles, he's on a motorcycle. He should have stopped. I'm saying should have stopped because for those who think it is cool and sexy to run from the police has a right to assume whatever risk and stop you the best way they can. When you are a suspect, it's not about a child is a suspect or an adult is a suspect or a senior is a suspect. A suspect is a suspect. When they're doing the booking, they have to put information as to the person's age bracket and however society wants to label the person. If it's a minor, a juvenile, whatever. But the point is, a suspect is a suspect. The police was in pursuit of this suspect. He had an obligation, if he was innocent or if he was unsure, as if he is the person they were after, stop the motorcycle. The most they can do, if they find you without a license, they can give you a fine. The Attorney General said they can't jail you for that. They can't take your property for that. They can't take the bike for that. They give you a license. And if you're underage, they can call you call somebody to take the bike further. But you stop. You surrender. You don't run. You don't give up, put up resistance. It is not a smart thing to do. Regardless of your age, if the police is in pursuit of you and they call you out and they say stop, then you stop. That's what you do. You surrender. Figure the other stuff out after. That is all you do. But now to prematurely try to ignite riots, violence, police brutality, extrajudicial killings, and Azruddin using subliminal messages, APNU using subliminal messages to try to get people to come out to start their revolution for them, is not a smart thing to do. I am sure that black people are tired. Not them niggas from the ghettos that always jump as an opportunity to come out and protest. Niggas from the ghetto, they don't count. But the Afro-Guyanese, the decent, contributing to society Afro-Guyanese, they are tired with this whole nonsense. Every little thing, you want to burn stuff. You want to loot. You want to target innocent businesses, innocent people that have nothing to do with your cause. Every fucking little thing. They're tired of it. They want a chance to breathe. Come on, man. The country is developing. The country is going places. Try not to politicize every shit. Every little shit you're politicizing. If you have an issue with the police, deal with the police separately. You have to always tie the president to the police. Fuck, the police are niggas like yourself, you stupid asses. They're niggas like you. The whole country. Those who pursue suspects the most are black police officers. Every time. And where do they come from? These police officers come from the same neighborhoods that you're trying to destroy. They know who criminals are. They know because they grew up with them. So when an accusation comes, when an allegation is made against someone, the police from that neighborhood knows that it's true. Yes, I know that person to be exactly like that. More often, it's not the wrong suspect. They know who they're going after because they are from those neighborhoods. Enough is enough, man. Niggas, enough is enough. Every shit, you got to come out. You want attention, you're screaming. Oh, it's Ali. We want justice. We want... Fuck, man. For heaven's sake, get a job. If you people were productive, if you were producing, contributing to society, you went to work, You're exhausted because you have done your best the day to help build your country. If you are doing that and you get home, you would have no energy, no time to come on social media and talking for violence or coming out with the torches and cutlasses to kill people. You won't have the time and energy because you have something of value, of substance to live for. You have the next day to look forward to. But if you're home the whole fucking day doing nothing, feeling sorry for yourself, envying the other blacks you see rising up, and you're thinking that they're being subscribed to by Indian politicians or the government is helping them, and you think that your situation is unique because everybody else is getting rich, but you're not, and you are entitled for miracles. So you come out and you pretend that you care about the so-called victim. You pretend that you want to console the relatives of some black person who may meet their demise by law and order. And you burn stuff down. You loot because you are part of something. Why not be a part of building your communities? Be a part of the education system. Be a part of the students at the university or at the institution, the technical institutions, at the nursing school, the teacher school. Be a part of something and a group that is progressing, that is doing something to help their country. Guyana has a brain drain situation. Guyana has a situation where the skilled people are leaving, not because of the government, but because of the same shit they're seeing every day, that any little thing, people are going out and terrorizing the rest of the society. Imagine those people who are decent living in Little Africa. Imagine those Guyanese who are decent. And they had a reason to leave their house that night for something important. You think they'll come out? When they see all those hooligans gang up, burning stuff on the road, they're going to regret. That husband and wife may be saying, we need to sell this house and move from here. Those children might be telling their parents, Mommy and Daddy, can we just get another place? I don't want to live here anymore. I'm scared. I'm afraid of this community. Look at what they're doing. I don't want to be a part of this community anymore. So when you have those industrial blacks, those ambitious black people, those productive, responsible black people leaving the neighborhoods, all you hear, this is what they do. They earn some money. They want to go somewhere else to live. Yes, stupid. Because if they stay in the neighborhood, the ghettos, and try to reinvest their money to build the ghettos, that's what they get. Protests, burnings, lootings, and destroy their investment. So they have to go somewhere where they feel safe, where they can make a profit with their business, where they can have a future and security for their families. Even black people are afraid of that. So they leave the nasty ghettos. Let justice have its way. Minister Priya Manikchan, Minister of Onij Waldron, Home Affairs Minister. I saw how quickly both of you, with some other government cabinet ministers, responded to that incident with a 16-year-old and the police. You yourself don't have all the evidence, but of course, I understand you politicking, and you don't want people to do what they usually do, burn stuff, loot. You want calm, so you come out and you make premature statements. I understand you got to be politicians. You need the country not to go into that state, like the Adriana case. So you have to react quick. You have to like, hey, we side with you, we think with you, and whatever it is. But what if the evidence shows that that teenager was being pursued for something terrible, some terrible crime he was fingered in? Then what? You're still sorry? Then what? When you side with the public like that, against the law enforcement who are just doing their jobs, you are taking away from the police from their morality. You're taking away from the police. They have to think twice before they can actually do their jobs. They got to wonder about what reactions we'll get if we actually go down this road. How will the government back us on the pursuit of justice? Would they always hold us responsible and in doing our jobs? When we don't do our jobs, then we are condemned. Like what happened with that case with that young man Aftab. They blame the police, right? They're not doing their jobs. They're corrupt. They're covering up crimes, and they're this and that. And when they do their jobs, oh, it's police brutality. It's murder. It's this. Let's protest. Let's loot. Let's burn. Here, what is my problem, Minister Manik Chan and Onij Waldron? Here, what my issue is. Women are murdered every day. Just yesterday, a man was arrested, a husband, for stabbing his wife to death, leaving how many children behind? Where is the outcry for that? Where is the prayers for Guyana, opposition leader? I have to stop referring to you as that. Minister of Flood, Azruddin Mohammed, where are the prayers for Guyana, for all the women who continue to be murdered? You had a Cuban woman last week who went missing, only to end up being murdered by a black man who happens to be a police officer. A black police officer murdered his girlfriend. Why? She fucked some other guy. He read her text and realized that she slept around, or she's a prostitute or a hooker. Why? But he murdered her. Where is the public outcry? Where is the calls for protests? Where is that? The man who murdered his wife stabbed her, then dumped her body. That's the new thing with them. They murder the women and they dump their body somewhere so somebody else can find it and think that somebody else did it, hoping that somebody else gets the blame. Where is the outcry for the many women who continue to face end of their life by insecure gay men who can't come out and embrace their sexuality to say, hey, they're like men. They go and they mix up with women to make society think that they're straight, but the demon they have in them with all the sperm they took in their asses, any least thing they want to kill the women because the women are in their way. Where is the outcry for those victims? I ain't see no protest for the woman who was murdered by her husband. I ain't see no protest for the Cuban woman who was murdered by her lover. I ain't see no protest. I see no statements on the pages of the government, the usual suspects of the government who comes out, and the opposition who comes out and want to criticize. Like they had a whole press conference. They had a whole press conference, PNC, just to interject the Little Africa incident with the police and the 16-year-old. But they failed to mention the murder of all these women. They failed to mention it. Nobody cares. Because they can't capitalize on that. It wasn't police killings. They can't blame the government for that. Crime of passion, right? Crime of passion, so don't get involved. All you are hypocrites. Hypocrites. Understand this. If a woman didn't give birth, Manik Chan, Waldron, the APNU crew, understand this. If a woman didn't give birth to any of you, you wouldn't be here today. You would not exist. If a woman didn't bring you to full term and deliver you, raised you, protected you, educated you, you would not be in the positions you hold today. Put your energy and your politics where it matters. Every life matter. Also the victims of the criminals that a lot of you are crying out for. Every life matter. While you're calling for calm because you are afraid of protests and riots and lootings, I understand that. Target the root of the problem. The root of the problem is, Minister Onij Waldron, we need better laws. If you have stricter laws, whether it's a 16-year-old or a 10-year-old or a 60-year-old, they'll understand that there are serious consequences for their stupidity. They'll understand that. And all the men who entertain the thought that they have nothing else to live for, so they don't value the life of anybody else, that wants to take the life of a person, they must understand, they must know by virtue of public education that if you take the life of another person, the state will kill you. The state is going to take your life. So plan your funeral while you're contemplating murdering somebody else. Plan your funeral. Write your will, because the state is going to take yours. Why don't we push for that? Why don't we protest for that? If the mothers and the women's population is reduced, so would the population of Guyana. When they raise their children wrong, and the children want to get into violence and crime, they want to smoke drugs and join gangs and all kinds of stuff, that's on the parents. That's on the parents. But you don't show sympathy for a delinquent teen, but you don't show any empathy for women who are murdered by jealous men. You must first show empathy for women, their mothers, future mothers. Their lives matter. Let's get a public outcry for them. Not when it's International Women's Day or Mother's Day or some shit like that. Every time there is an act against a woman, a violent act, the perpetrator must be harshly dealt with. Must be dealt with harshly. You have men killing women and they're going to prison for 10 years, 15 years, 33 years. While a lot of you are usually offended, one second. While a lot of you are usually offended, because my kind of rhetoric is not juicy enough for you, or I don't speak with a dictionary in my mouth, or quote Bible verses when dealing with certain issues. My channel on YouTube is not monetized. My TikTok, Facebook are not monetized. I have no advertisers, so I have to consider people's feelings. But I have generations. I have children in societies. I can't be everywhere to protect them. So if society can rise to a status like Norway or a lot of the white countries, European countries, not America, maybe America, but the white neighborhoods. If Guyana can rise to that status where people value life, freedom, law, and each other, that's good for my generation. That's good for my children. I can sleep comfortable at night knowing that they're safe. They live in a country or neighborhoods where it's safe. You don't have thugs and gang members to deal with. This is why I do what I do. So whoever's feelings are hurt, fuck you. Because you're not doing anything to make a difference. You're not doing anything to make a difference. Stay off my page. Don't watch my shows. Stay the fuck off. Follow David Hines, the PNC. Follow Azruddin Mohammed. Follow them. Stay the fuck off my page. Because I wouldn't tell you what you want to hear. Because if you were making a difference, you will not get an increase in the shit that's happening in Guyana. It will be decreasing because everybody is condemning it, is coming against it. Everybody. But the fact that it's not stopping, it means that the people that it concerns are not doing anything to stop it. They want it to continue because it makes the government look bad. The government, this is politics to them, even if it comes at the expense of the country's image, the safety of the citizens, they don't mind. They just want it to continue so they can publicize, they can share and say, look at how the Guyanese are acting because the government is neglecting the people, the oil money. Oh my God. I am so fucking exhausted with this oil money shit, man. I'm so exhausted, man. Everything is oil money. Everything is corruption from oil money. Every fucking thing. You would think that these niggas never lived. They never lived. So they were waiting in a grave somewhere like a fucking vampire, waiting for a chance for Guyana to find something so they can wake up and have a life. Since the oil was discovered, not by niggas, by white people, now it's about oil. They have a right to loot because they're not getting a part of the pie. They have a right to steal and rob and kill because they're not getting their share. Because the government is racist and biased against a bunch of fucking niggas. Yeah. Find something else to do. Leave the country if it's hard for you. You can go to Barbados without a passport. Go there. Go to Africa. Find some place to go besides Guyana. Don't stay and destroy that country. Leave the fucking country. Go build your life somewhere else with people who look like you. Because the people who are building Guyana don't look like you. They don't have time for violence. They don't have time for crime. They're exploiting the education system. They're exploiting the resources. The new bank that the government has implemented. You will see how much people, how much non-black people. You will see how much non-black people are going to rise up from so-called poverty because they will take advantage of the programs of the government when it comes to investing, getting easy access to investment to build their homes, to start a business. They will do that. While the niggers, on the other hand, is going to sit on their asses and condemn and criticize and be suspicious and listen to Win and the PNC and say, well, we're not trusting that. We're not going and taking a loan. We're not going to start any business because it's a trap. It's a setup. Well, you can't do business anyway. Blacks don't have the capacity to do business. A very few of them, very few. And those who are doing business, they have some Indian or some Chinese or some white person behind them, helping them. They're just the face. Capitalize on the good the country is doing for you. Stop the whole excitement with violence. You want to loot, you want to burn, you want to destroy. Stop it. You ain't build anything. Don't damage anything. You ain't build anything. You want to destroy something, destroy your own home. You want to put fire on something because you're angry with the police or the government, burn your own house down. Do that. Damage your own car. Don't go damaging people's vehicles, people's properties. Do it to your own self. You want to fight somebody? Stand in front of your mirror and fight with yourself. You want to stop somebody? Stop yourself. Whatever you want to do to somebody else, do it to yourself first. And see if you will live to regret it. That's the best way you can punish the system, punish yourself. But to the rest of the country that is trying and building and doing what they have to do, leave them alone. Leave them alone. I would ask you, if you agree with me, to share your thoughts in the comment section. I want to emphasize this. There are lots of people who are afraid to comment. They have something good to say. But when they do make a comment, people are sending them threatening messages in their inbox. So they're afraid to say anything. Anybody who threatens you because of something you say on my page, screenshot that and send it to the police. Whatever country you're in. Anybody who's coming after you because of you making comments on my page, screenshot their comments, get information as you can about them, and send it to the police. Do that. But you are free to say whatever you want to say. Because I can block people for when they cuss. I can block them. But I don't. For what? I'm not that thin-skinned. I'm not Azruddin. I'm not thin-skinned. I don't have to send people after people for what? You have a right to express your thought, even if it's against me or you want to harm me. It's your thoughts. I have no issues with that. My thing is your action. If you approach me in public, then we have an issue. But you can say whatever you want on social media. Say whatever you want. But when you are so out your senses to say you will see me in public, don't sneak up like a bitch. Don't sneak up like a bitch. You want to confront me face to face. Then I am always prepared. Then I will have to do justifiable protection. But social media, niggas talk, they do whatever shit they want to do. It's fine. But for the rest of you, I would like to hear from you. Your comments I read. So when you share your thoughts, there are lots of government people who follow this show. The FBI monitors my show. All them people, I don't know why, but let them know where you stand. You stand for justice. You want to see criminals punished the right way. You have to stand with the police. Stand with the police. Because when these violence come, this is not the Burnham time. This is not the time when the police are going to join with niggas to terrorize the country. But if you don't stand with the police, and any least thing you want to condemn the police, you want to judge the police, what do you think will happen? When these niggas decide to come out and terrorize people and burn and loot and fight, the police wouldn't help you. Because they were saying that if I help you, then the next thing you know, you go on social media, you tell the government that it's Ali's fault, you want to judge us, you want to put us one side. No. Stand in solidarity with the police. Let them know that they have the freedom to do their job, to get justice for those who need justice. Share this live. And remember, the books are here. On Amazon.com. And there you go, you see all the books. and you get yourself a copy today. Order a copy, especially the last copy, the last volume, which is First Class Mail, 50 Shades of Black, Journey to the First Class Mail. It's important for society. It's important for the social program. I think the Ministry of Social Services should distribute copies of my book. Ministry of Education, especially to the primary school and the secondary schools, distribute copies. Put it in a library, let them read it. Teachers should build their courses around, especially this volume. But they won't do that, would they? Because it's not good for politics for them. Oh, Dr. Prasad, no, we can't have his book. Oh my gosh, no, we're going to lose the black votes. Yeah. Keep thinking about that and keep fucking up. Maybe I have to run for president. Oh, they don't want to hear that. What? He's trying to get political now. In a few years, this guy might get so huge that he might be a problem for us. I'm a juggernaut. With or without the support of those PPP toppers, it wouldn't change my position. I am pro Jagan. Jagan is my hero. He is the one that has me here. So regardless, I'll still be a juggernaut, which means a supporter of the People's Progressive Party Civic, Guyana. Until next time, subscribe to the channel if you have not yet subscribed. And even if you hate me, you should subscribe. Just because you don't like me, you should subscribe. Goodbye now.